Hello, everyone. Welcome to our yin and restorative yoga practice. You'll want to have quite a few props, such as a blanket, pillow or bolster, 2 blocks, and a strap. Throughout this week, we're going to continue our focus of balancing 2 main energy centers. One, the root at the base of the spine, which is the energy of grounding, and 2, the heart, which is towards the middle of the chest and upper back, which is much about balancing, giving, and receiving the energy of love in its various forms. Let's start in a comfortable way to sit, whether it's cross-legged or supported hero's pose, whatever feels comfortable for you to be able to plant your pelvis in a balanced weight throughout, rooting down. Lift your spine tall, let your shoulders soften down, and let the body relax into stillness. Just a few reminders about the root energy center, which is located at the base of the spine. The color vibration is red, and this is about how you relate to your physical body and how well you feel that your basic needs for survival are being met, such as food, water, shelter, sustenance, even how you finance your living, as well as your to the basic human needs that you might find at the very bottom primary level of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And this also relates to your connection with nature, knowing that we are also part of nature. So it's the more than human nature, our Mother Earth, and your connection to your lineage and our ancestors, all of those who have walked this earth before us. So as you take a moment to reflect on how you relate to these areas of the root chakra, what's coming up for you? What is your sense of safety and security in your body right now? Or connection and relationship to your body? Noticing the energy at your heart chakra, which is the vibrational color green, like a luscious, healthy forest. Imagine you're standing in the middle of so many green trees and you just let in a deep breath and you exhale fully. That is the feeling of a balanced heart chakra. It's this balance of giving and receiving life force energy, love with yourself, with the world around you. There's reciprocity. And when energy is balanced here, you feel full, you feel content, you feel joyful, that innate sense of joy, not the conditional sense of happiness that is based on, if I have this, then I will be happy. It's the joy that arises from within when we can be still and acknowledge the abundance that is already here. And it is the feeling of peace, the feeling of living in harmony with each other, the feeling of ability to forgive every day, throughout the day, the feeling of appreciation, gratitude, compassion. So how do you relate to these qualities right now? Notice what your energy is at your heart center at this moment. And then begin to scan your physical body, acknowledging the sensations that are happening and any way your body might be asking for your attention. So that you can respond in the way you approach your movements and postures. Notice the quality of your breathing without changing or controlling the breath. And what you can feel in your breathing, What do you notice about your nervous system right now? What do you notice about your energy? Notice the state of your mind, how you're feeling right now mentally and emotionally. And start to slow the breath down, breathing in through your nose, breathing out through your mouth, letting each breath become a little longer in and out. You might even sigh a few times. Ah. And as we nurture the energy at your heart chakra, I invite you to think of a few things that you feel grateful for right now, no matter how small. Begin to clarify to yourself what you're choosing to focus your mind and your energy on nurturing through your practice. For example, if you notice in your root chakra, if you're needing to feel a little more safe in your body, or a feeling of connection to the earth, grounding, centeredness, if you've been very busy lately in the mind or in the body, or in the heart chakra. Are you needing a feeling of nurturance, self-nurturance? And then think of those around you. Is there someone you might like to dedicate your practice to today that you would like to extend the energy of love to your heart center, or the energy of grounding? And I invite you to open the practice together in support of each other, chanting as we bring awareness to the root chakra with the seed sound lam, the heart chakra yum, and connecting with Mother Earth om. So let in a deep breath. Lam. Yum. Oh. So when working with balancing the heart energy, we can practice different ways of regulating our breathing called pranayama. I'm going to invite you into a breathing technique called bellows breath, Bhastrika Pranayama, for 1 minute. And it helps to cleanse the lungs, revitalize the lungs and your energy while clearing the clouds of the mind. So it's done by closing your lips and breathing fully in through the nose, where you're expanding your lungs and your belly using your diaphragm, and breathing out just as strongly through the nose. So there's an equal in and out where you create a rhythm. And there's a physical movement where you bend your elbows apart as you sit tall and relax the shoulders, making your hands like fists. And as you breathe in, you straighten the arms overhead and spread the fingers. And as you breathe out, you bend the elbows and refist the hands. So it sort of looks like this. So full inhale, full exhale, all through the nose. Let's give it a try for 1 minute straight. Do what you can. If you need to start and stop, find your own rhythm. Bellows breath. Ready? Begin. You might close your eyes and turn your inner gaze towards your third eye center, which is at the center of your brain, to help focus. Last few seconds. And relax. Notice anything you feel. Then let's begin the practice called Ujjayi Pranayama, which means victorious breathing. I'll invite you to place your hands on the left and right walls of your rib cage so that as you breathe in, you invite your side ribs to expand slowly. And as you breathe out, you invite the muscles between the ribs to soften. And I'll count to 5 as you breathe in and to 5 as you breathe out, pacing the breath evenly as you close the lips and softly narrow the back of your throat so that you can listen to a very smooth and gentle whispering sound in your breath. And that sound helps you to regulate your breathing, but it also helps to anchor your attention in the present moment. All right, let's begin by emptying this breath. Inhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 5. Exhale 5. Count a couple more cycles on your own. And listen to the qualities of your breathing. Smooth, sustained, not all at once, but gradual in, gradual out. As you continue to lengthen and balance your breath in and out, listen to the transitions between the breaths, smoothen them out. And see if you can keep this rhythm going throughout our physical practice, especially as we're moving to gently warm up the body. Let's slowly make our way down onto tabletop pose, your hands and knees. Spreading your fingers flat at the front of your mat and stacking your shoulders on top of your wrists. Stepping your knees a couple of inches behind your hips. As you breathe in, glide your chest forward into cow pose, rolling the shoulders back and down. As you breathe out, contract your belly, drop the head to round into cat pose. Inhale, draw the chest forward, slide the shoulder blades down. Exhale, lift the belly in, tuck the tailbone and round. Keep going for a few more cycles of breath. Taking your time to synchronize each part of the movement with each part of the breath. Slow and steady, bringing the element of earth into your movements. Groundedness. And the element of air, the heart chakra, is much about movements and even being more imaginative or creative or spontaneous. So I invite you to explore other directions of moving your body here, taking your time to connect with the breath pace. Notice what might feel stagnant in your body, what joints need to loosen up. Let's take our time making our way into child's pose, where you bring the inner edges of your feet together to touch. Knees can be together or as wide apart as you choose. Actively extend your arms forward as you rest your forehead down. And continue to breathe into your side ribs, especially in this posture as you draw the hips back towards your heels. Lengthen the top of your head forward and soften your shoulder bones back away from your neck. As you keep your palms face down on the ground ahead, shoulders distance apart, at your shoulder sockets, rotate your outer upper arms towards the floor as if you're turning the inner creases of your elbows to face each other and face the sky. Let's add a side stretch, crawling your hands over to the right slowly as you keep your heart and head close to the earth. Maybe visualizing breathing into the left side of your torso. Couple more deep breaths here. And then crawl your hands slowly through center, reaching over to the left. Couple more breaths. And start to come back to center here. Stretch the arms forward and slither all the way to the floor, onto your belly, lying flat with your legs straight behind you. Let's add some movement in the shoulders to affect the area of the heart center. So rest your forehead on the ground, crawl your fingertips outside of your mat, and bend your elbows apart at 90 degrees. Bring your knees no wider apart than your hips distance. Actively stretch your legs long as you press the tops of your feet into the ground and keep your pelvis on the floor. As you breathe in, roll the shoulders behind your ears and press them down your back, lifting your chest gently. Look on the floor ahead. Stay lifted and exhale, rotate your right shoulder further back and down, looking over it. Inhale, come back to center, broaden your collarbones. Exhale, rotate the left shoulder back and down, look behind it. Inhale back to center, lengthen back of the neck. And then exhale, release the forehead down. Let's try that one more time. Inhale, start with the shoulders rotating back to lift the chest lightly. Keep the feet on the floor. Exhale, look over right shoulder as you drop it further back. Inhale, look forward, spread the chest wide. Exhale, look over left shoulder as you draw it down. Inhale, center, lengthen the back of the neck. And exhale, release. Now I invite you to free flow movements in your shoulders. You can have the hands apart. You could have the hands closer to your side ribs. You can plant your fingertips forward. And just take a moment to see what movements are calling you in your neck, shoulders, arms, wrists. Notice your breathing and try to move as slowly as you're breathing. Feel into your jaw, as that's definitely connected to how open or stiff you feel in your neck and shoulders. If you need to loosen the jaw, you could flutter your lips a few times. All right, let's get a little deeper into the fronts of the shoulders, bringing them into extension. Slide your right arm wide out to the right, so your palm is face down on the floor in line with your right shoulder. Rest your right ear on the ground. Press the left hand on the floor beside your left shoulder and gently roll towards your right outer hip. Pause a moment to walk the right shoulder blade further down your back ribs, lengthening the right side of your neck. And little by little, leaning back as you listen to the cues you can feel in the sensations, especially around your right shoulder, as to how far back you need to lean so as not to feel stagnant here or to overdo it. Some options are to wrap the left arm behind you, or step the left foot behind you, or step the right foot down too. Feel the breath in, finding its full capacity. Listen to the breath out through the nose. Find the emptiness at the bottom. And continue to balance and lengthen the breath. As you breathe out, gently roll onto your belly. Pause here for a couple of breaths in stillness and just observe how your body's responding to that. Moving gradually, begin to slide your left arm out to the left side so that your palm is face down and in line with your left shoulder. Lean your left ear to the ground and press the right hand into the floor beside your right shoulder, slowly rolling towards your left outer hip. Pause on your way there to slide the left shoulder blade further down your back ribs and lengthen the left side of your neck. Now take your time to observe how your body's letting you know what variation of this pose to take on your second side and how deep to go. Filling up completely with the in-breath and releasing completely with the out-breath. Balancing giving and receiving through the breath. On your next exhale, slowly roll onto your belly and come back to lying face down to pause for a few breaths, observing your body respond. You might even notice how that posture may have affected your breathing. And slide your palms back alongside your floating ribs. Hug your elbows to your side ribs, press the tops of your feet down. And inhale, roll the shoulders back and down to cobra pose and just pause for 3 to 5 breaths. Drawing the shoulder blades down the back as you look on the floor ahead, lengthen back of your neck, soften the jaw, soften the eyes. Stretch the legs long, root down through the tops of your feet. And then press up to tabletop. All right, let's get into the upper back, the back region of the heart center. So please place your 2 blocks on the floor in front of you at the top of your mat. On either their second level, if you have the standard size blocks, if you have really thin blocks, they might not be stable on the second level. You might have to tilt them on the lowest level so that they are crossing the front of your mat and touching each other. Set your knees about a foot behind the blocks and extend your arms forward with your palms face down. At your shoulders, rotate your triceps downward and draw your shoulder blades down your back ribs. Connect to your breath as you set this up. Bend your elbows. Place them on the blocks exactly your shoulders distance apart. Press your fingertips into each other. Then walk your knees back until they are about 2 inches behind your hips. Slowly trace your thumbs down the back of your skull, lowering your head to whatever degree is relaxing for you as you slide the shoulders back, keep the elbows shoulders width apart on the blocks. Spin your triceps towards the floor and let your chest sink and broaden. Now pull in the belly so as not to dump into the lower back, and continue to lengthen the sides of your torso by drawing your hips back. Is there any part of your body calling your attention right now? Notice if you need to adjust your pose or consider breathing into that part of your body in acknowledgement. And slowly rise up and off the blocks, coming back to tabletop so that you can sink back into child's pose to pause and observe. You might rest your arms down by your sides if that's comfortable. Maybe turn one ear to the ground and stretch one side of your neck, and then stretch the other side of your neck. A few breaths each. And just being in stillness to listen more deeply to whatever sensations are happening right now. Even noticing your thought processes and without judgment, just observing what kinds of thoughts are coming up for you. You might turn your head to the other side. All right, let's come into one more posture for the back of the heart chakra, which is thread the needle, a spinal twist. So come back to tabletop with your knees a couple inches behind the hips, shoulders over wrists. Now, in setting up for this pose, you can either keep both knees on the ground. We'll be threading the right arm under the left, or you could stretch your inner thigh simultaneously in this pose by stepping your right foot out to the right so that sole is flat on the floor and the arch of the foot is in line with the left knee. But if you find when you're twisting that having the leg stepped out makes it too cumbersome, you could always bring the right knee back down while you're in the pose longer. So press the ground away with your left hand and inhale, sweep your right arm up. Exhale, thread that arm underneath your left bent elbow. Lower the right side of your head all the way down. If your head does not comfortably rest on the ground, use any of your props to support your head. We'll be here for about 10 slow breaths. Try to level the height of your two hips to stabilize your lower back, inviting the twist to happen mostly at your waistline. Rib cage gently turning as your shoulders relax down the back ribs. Slowly press yourself back to tabletop, back to child's pose if you prefer it. Just a moment to be in a more neutral position and rest for a couple of breaths. Noticing if you might be feeling anything shift energetically, physically, mentally, emotionally. Remembering that in these yoga poses, we're not only working with the body, they all affect each other: mind, body, spirit, energy, breath. And let's start to come back to tabletop. All right, how did you practice this pose on the first side? Is the same variation available on this side. So either both knees down or step the left foot out. Sole of the foot flat on the floor, arch of the foot in line with the right knee. Press the right hand down as you inhale, sweep your left arm up. Exhale, thread that arm under your right bent elbow, lower the left side of your head all the way down. Level the height of your two hips. Allow your rib cage to gently rotate. Relax the shoulders down the back. And take your time with 10 cycles of breath. And slowly come back to tabletop or child's pose. Again, to pause and observe the effects of the asana. Slowly, please roll your torso upright. Slide your legs out in front of you and place a strap off to the side of your mat as well as one block. Come down to your back and let's bring some more attention to the root energy center by bending your knees into your chest and just taking a moment to move your thigh bones in the hip sockets in any direction. You can have the knees together and rock and side to side, forward and back, or you could rotate the thighs separately, together and apart. Just feel into what needs to move and how, taking your time to synchronize with your breath. Remember, your root chakra encompasses everything below the pelvis too. So bring some movement into your feet, at your ankles, your knees. Let's step the feet on the ground so that your knees are bent. Separate your feet a little wider than hips distance. And let's bring the movement into windshield wipers, dropping the knees to the right as you inhale and to the left as you exhale slowly. A few more times. All right, let's draw the right knee towards your chest. Move it over to the right ribs and slide your left leg flat on the floor. Press your left hand onto the top of your left thigh to make sure that the back of your left hip stays on the ground. And imagine just bringing your right leg into happy baby. So bring your right arm inside of the right leg. Take hold of the right shin or foot and splay your right thigh wide to the right so that the sole of your right foot is facing the ceiling and you're drawing the right knee down towards the ground as both shoulders, both hips stay rooted to the earth. You might find it helpful to flex your left foot to keep you from rolling over. Now the strap can be useful if your foot feels really far away and your shoulders want to come off the floor to reach it. You can use the strap around the ball of the foot and pull the strap so that you have enough slack in the strap to be able to relax your shoulders and lengthen your neck. So this is like lizard pose, the lunge that we do in our vinyasa flow, but the supine or lying down version. A few more breaths here. Okay, let's bend the left knee, step the left foot down, flex your right foot, and turn out your right thigh, crossing the right ankle over the left thigh. Keep your left foot on the ground, and with your right hand beside your right hip, gently splay the right thigh open, and notice how this feels. Stay here, or the other thread the needle is to thread the right hand between your thighs and hold your left thigh or shin with both hands as the shoulders remain on the ground, bringing your left leg gently closer while you continue to splay your right thigh open. One more deep breath. Wrap the right leg around the left leg like eagle pose. Slide your hips to the right side of your mat. Open your right arm wide, ground the shoulder, lift your feet, and slowly drop your knees to the left, spinal twist. And you can catch your legs with your pillow or any of your props to make sure that your right shoulder remains on the floor. If you need a deeper release for your lower back, place your left hand on your right outer hip, and as you exhale, press away your right outer hip so it tilts gently towards your feet. Few last breaths here. Start to unravel into corpse pose. Just pause for a moment. Deep breaths. What do you feel in your body? Without judging it, just notice. Bend your left knee. Take hold of your thigh or shin. Slide the left thigh to the left side of your belly. Press your right hand on the top of your right thigh. Keep the right hip, back of the right hip on the ground. Maybe even flex the right foot to help. And bring just your left leg into happy baby. So bring the left arm inside of the left thigh. Hold your left outer shin or foot. Lift the sole of your foot to face the ceiling and bend the left knee towards the ground outside of your left ribs. Breathing deeply, especially anywhere you might feel more sensation happening. One more deep breath. Bend your right knee, step your right foot on the floor, flex your left foot, turn out the left thigh at the hip, cross your left ankle over your right thigh like a figure four shape, and press your left hand on the area of your left hip to splay the left thigh open. Observe how this feels in your body. Your body might be asking you to stay in this version of the pose. Otherwise, thread the needle. Thread your left hand between your thighs. Hold your right thigh or shin with two hands. As you keep your shoulders grounded, bring the right leg towards you while splaying your left thigh open. Now let's wrap the left leg around the right leg like eagle pose and slide your pelvis towards the left side of your mat. Open your left arm wide on the ground. Keep the shoulder down and lift your feet, slowly dropping your knees to the right. Only as far as the left shoulder can stay grounded. So if you need, you can catch your legs with your pillow or any of your props. With deep breaths, we're only here briefly. If your lower back needs a deeper stretch, place your right hand on your left outer hip. As you exhale, press it away, tilting your left outer hip towards your feet. Rolling onto your back, uncross the legs, pausing corpse pose for a couple of breaths. Notice what you notice. Now I'm going to invite you to set up in a restorative heart opening, hip opening posture for Shavasana and guide you into one more calming breathing technique called Durga Pranayama, three-part breathing, before we let go of controlling the breath and transition to Shavasana. So let's take a moment to very slowly lift your torso upright, not too fast. You don't want to get lightheaded. And place either a bolster, which is the mildest version of this back bend, to trace the midline of your mat so that you can lie back and let the palms turn up on that bolster. Make sure it's not digging into the lower back. You might need to slide it higher so it's like at the lowest ribs. Otherwise, if you want even more of a chest opening posture, supported fish pose with 2 blocks. Placing 1 block at the highest height at the rear end of your mat, and placing the second block at the medium height, whether tracing the center line of the mat so the blocks are spaced about 2 inches apart, or crossing the width of the mat where the blocks are spaced maybe 5 to 6 inches apart. Now the legs, Supta Baddha Konasana. Grab your blanket and open it up so that the width of the blanket could be about the width of your mat or even wider, like your wingspan. Roll up the blanket so it's like a firm, cylindrical, smooth pillow. Actually, you don't want the width of the mat. You want it wingspan. Forgot. So once you have that long rolled up burrito, you want it to be pretty firm and smooth so that it's effective. So take the time to roll it up. All right, once you have that, position your pelvis facing away from the blocks so that you'll be able to lie back into the blocks where the bottom tips of your shoulder blades will meet the closest edge of the closest block. The back of your head will be on the furthest block. Bring the soles of your feet together to touch, splay the knees wide, and then place your rolled up blanket, the center of it, on top of your inner ankles and feet. Tuck the ends of that under your outer hips or knees, your outer thighs or knees. You can make it as thick as you need. If your knees are really high, make it thicker underneath. They're low, not so thick. And then lean back. Find the bottom tips of the shoulder blades to land on the first edge of the first block. Shoulders are resting in the space between the blocks. And as you rotate the shoulders back and slide the shoulder blades down the back, you can rest the arms down by your sides and turn the palms face up to open the chest. See if you need any adjustments so that you can be here comfortably in stillness throughout pranayama and shavasana. Feel that your neck feels naturally curved and spacious. All right. And once you've arrived at a comfortable stillness, you might close the eyes and visualize your torso from the bottom of your pelvis to the top of your neck, all the way around, divided into 3 cross sections. The first is from your pelvic floor to your belly button. The second is at the middle of your torso, encompassing most of your rib cage. The third includes your chest, upper back, neck, and shoulders. 3-part breathing goes like this. We'll inhale 1/3 into the lowest section, then pause. 1/3 into the middle section, then pause. 1/3 into the top, we'll hold the breath, relax the body and observe it. Then through the nose, we'll empty the breath about 9 counts and hold it out at the bottom, relaxing and observing. That's 1 cycle. Let's try 3 cycles together, 3 cycles on your own before letting go of controlling the breath. Then notice what you feel. So prepare for Durga Pranayama by emptying this breath into the lowest part of your torso. Inhale 1/3. Pause into the middle. Inhale 1/3. Pause into the top. Inhale 1/3. Hold the breath, relax the body, observe it. Through the nose, about 9 counts, exhale. Hold the breath out, relax and observe. Second cycle, inhale, lowest section. Pause, inhale, middle. Pause, inhale, top. Hold, relax, observe through the nose. About 9 counts, empty the breath. Hold it out, pause, observe. Third cycle, inhale, first section. Pause. Inhale middle. Pause. Inhale top. Hold. Exhale slowly. Hold it out. On your own, try 3 more cycles of 3-part breathing. When you're ready, let go of controlling your breath and observe anything you feel as you begin to relax deeper into Shavasana. Bring your awareness to how your body feels right now. And tune into how it wants to begin waking up as you explore subtle movements to start. And ease into simple stretches, maybe keeping your eyes closed to help continue focusing inward. Gradually, please turn over onto your right side and rest your head. Feeling into your breathing as it is and observing how your energy feels. Take your time lifting your body up to a comfortable way to sit tall, grounded, and relaxed for 5 minutes sitting in meditation. You might rest the hands in a mudra that feels grounding for you, such as thumb and index fingers touching, palms face down on the lap, or a hand to your heart center and a hand to your lower belly. Relaxing into the natural breath as you feel it. Feel the energy of your facial expression right now. And I invite you to bring a soft smile to your lips, very subtle, relaxing the eyes so that you are cultivating the energy of friendliness to what you're observing, helping to dissolve judgment, cultivating openness. Notice how your mind and heart feel now. How are you currently relating to your root energy? Feelings of grounding or safety or connection, partnership with your body. How are you currently relating to your heart energy? Feelings of openness to balance, giving and receiving love. And what ways can you tune into these energy centers and allow them to work in harmony with each other? As we close this practice, invite you to acknowledge someone or something with gratitude. Maybe acknowledging your body for its intelligence, its receptivity to move in your physical practice today. Come back to your intention and remember to whom you dedicated this practice. And like we began, let's close chanting the seed sound for the root, Lam, for the heart, Yum, and to connect with our Mother Earth, Om. Let in a deep breath. Lam. Yum. Om. Bowing in towards your heart center, towards Mother Earth, acknowledging the light within and around. Namaste.